I used to think family trips were just exhausting because traveling with kids is hard, but somewhere between our rushed mornings, the cranky afternoons, and everyone melting down around dinner every single night, I realized something. We weren't failing at travel, we were planning like our childless selves and expecting our kids to keep up with the rhythm. And once I saw that, everything about how we travel changed. And if you've ever come home needing a vacation from your vacation, stay with me because the problem isn't the destination. It's how energy, food, and sleep and expectations quietly work against families on our trips. Nothing is wrong with your destination. Nothing's wrong with your kids. The problem is energy, and nobody teaches parents how to plan for this. Travel is often seen as disruption and not relaxation all the time for kids. When you're juggling new beds, new cuisine and food, new types of drinks, you're sweating all the time, you're walking everywhere, new noises and new rules, especially if you are living next to neighbors or people are living below you and that's not what you're used to. It's overwhelming, and a lot of parents underestimate how much regulation kids are doing all day long. On our first trip to Europe, we went to London. We did not plan for the time change adequately ahead of time, and we all were walking around like zombies during the day, and our daughter slept all day long. All day long, like she missed the entire trip, and that was when we only had one, and I was pregnant with our second. Nothing really like went wrong, but it definitely felt heavy, and we weren't as connected and we weren't as like awake and alert as we should have been enjoying our first trip. And then once you reach dinner time, everybody just kind of feels done. And here's the part that most parents miss. Like even the fun stuff cost energy. So if your trip falls apart by day 2, the next part is explaining exactly why. Energy is either being spent or rebuilt, but it's not doing both at the same time. It can't ever do both. It can either do one or the other, give, replenish, or take away and use. So back-to-back days creates invisible exhaustion that you don't see until it's too late, okay? So don't do back-to-back-to-back days of cram-filled, long travel days, or tons of attractions and activities and things to do. Meltdowns aren't usually behavioral issues when we're out traveling, right? They're the I'm tired, I'm hungry, okay, and I'm off my routine moments that we sometimes overlook and we just think they're misbehaving, and that's not really the root that's causing it. So common energy debt situations for kids is your prime recipe for disaster. When you're walking, you have heat, you have long lines, and you have hunger, instant blow up, right? If you've been there as a parent, you've been there, you already know. But when you have these 4 things lined up together, it is not a good thing to experience, and it affects everybody. It affects the kids, it affects the parents, the other siblings, and everybody else around you in the line, okay? So these are important things to consider and to plan ahead of in advance and to try to either combat it or make a better travel plan and itinerary. And once we stopped trying to push ourselves through the exhaustion and started planning around it as an expected circumstance that we were going to be encountering, our trips felt completely different as parents, okay? This is also when most itineraries are quietly falling apart. And it's not because we're lazy. It's not because you're lazy, but it's because that we built them for adults mainly. Adults are going to remember all the highlights and the fun things, but kids are going to walk away remembering the overall feeling, okay, and of how they felt. So did they feel along the way happy? Did they feel tired? Did they feel nervous? Did they feel sad? Or did they feel excited and they were well equipped and the schedule was well equipped, okay? These are how they're going to look back on your travel, vacation, trips, and memories, okay? Because if you're only planning for an adult, Your first guarantee is that your kids are going to burn out and it's not going to go how in your head you have envisioned it or planned for it. Because kids experience the time, the walking, and all the overstimulation a little differently, right, than we do as adults. And sometimes we forget that in the heat of the moment. So let me show you the exact daily structure that finally stopped the chaos for us. We call this the less but better version, okay? Your first thing is your one anchor block, your one activity, which you do in the mornings because that's when everybody has the most energy and probably everybody has the best attitudes. And then in the afternoon, you can do your one flex box, which is your maybe it's an optional activity that you want to do. Maybe it's the pool, maybe it's to go see a movie on a rainy day, maybe it's the aquarium. Whatever it is, it's something that is optional, not a must do, not a let's cram pack the schedule in when it's not a good time. It's a hey, if we feel up to it and everybody wants to, we can go and do this optional additional activity, okay? And then in the evening, you have your rest or reset block, which could be an easy stroll, it could be an easy park, okay? It's just something that it's not a lot of pressure, okay? And it's your recovery reset. Maybe it's just a movie together in the hotel room, okay? Whatever that looks like for your family, have a recovery reset. It cannot just be go, 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 and then we wonder why everybody's exhausted after a few days, okay? Your morning is your big win. It is the moments that you're going to get the most out of everything because your morning wins really, truly matter for the rest of the day. And then this is why your flex time removes the pressure that we sometimes have as adults to do all these things on our short vacation time instead of creating our boredom, okay? Because we don't want to just sit there bored, right? We can use our additional activity. We just want to make sure it doesn't feel like we have to do it. And then also it's really important to note that some of your best memories happen when your plans fall apart, okay? We a lot of the time use our flex afternoons to what my husband says, let's go get lost. And years ago, actually like a year ago, that stressed me the freak out, okay? I was like, no, why would I want to go get lost on the street with you and 4 kids? Like, I'm good. I don't want to do that. Let's just sit at a cafe and drink tea and eat pizza or something. But what I learned was letting go and having this free flex activity or the downtime in the afternoon allowed for some beautiful moments in creative time to happen. And we found amazing restaurants. We found quiet cafes with all the locals. And it was really, truly has been some of our favorite unplanned, unexpected moments together. And this is exactly what I teach step by step inside of my stress-free family travel course because parents don't need more ideas. They need something that actually works in real life. But even with the right daily structure, there are still 3 things that can break your trip if you ignore them. The first one is your dinner planning, okay? That will make or break your trip, okay? 6 p.m., you've got hungry kids and no plan, utter chaos, like let's just all erupt on the street at one time, okay? Between mom and dad trying to figure out where you want to go, what the reviews are like, how far it is to walk, kids going, what am I doing? Kids are trying to run around and trying to keep them on the street so they don't get hit by cars or lost in the commotion of everybody. You're standing in the hotel lobby, like twiddling with your thumbs up your butt. Like nobody wants to do that, okay? So like we need to plan this ahead of time. And also, that's when so many restaurants need reservations, especially if you're a larger family. If it's a really big destination and it's a popular country, don't expect to just waltz right into a great restaurant and get sat unless you're going super early, okay? People reserve things ahead of time, and so you need to vet things out and make dinner reservations on your vacations ahead of time. And dinner, I would say, is the one meal that needs to be planned in advance. You can skate around breakfast and lunch not having reservations or planned ahead of time. I still always have breakfast and lunch options vetted out on my Word document. I know how far away they are. I know what kind of food they serve. I know how many stars and what their reviews are like, and I know that these are going to work for our families, and so we can plug and play. I just pull up my list and I say, okay, here's 3. There we go. This one's 3 minutes. This one's 6 minutes. Where do we want to go? Boom, done. Zero thinking involved because I did that ahead of time when I was planning for our trip. Or you could open up your Google map and just do little pins on it. So you just open up your map and you say, I want this one, this one, this one. And again, it's already vetted out and it's one less decision off your plate. So the second one that will quietly break your trip is packing is not always just about clothes, okay? It's responsibility overload, okay? Parents carry everything. Okay, so you need to remember this. There's a 3-layer structure that's gonna work 9 out of 10 times. Okay, the first layer is on your body. You wanna bring everything that you need to bring with you. Okay, you're talking everything that goes on your body, and you need your kids' items. Okay, and your phone chargers, that's your second layer. Okay, so everything that's gonna be like maybe it's your wireless headphones, maybe it's your phone charger. Okay, those are the things, your wallet, okay? Well, your wallet would count as your on your body thing. So that's like your wallet, your purse, your credit cards, whatever that might be. The second layer is going to be everything that we need to carry with us. So that might look like kids' bags. What's in the kids' bags? Do the kids have their water bottles? That's your second thing. Those are the most important. And your third is your bag with your extra set of clothes, okay? Because your bags might get lost, or somebody might have an accident, or your shirt might get ruined. Always have an extra, outfit or change of clothes, especially for your little ones. And that is your third layer, okay? So those 3 layers is your checklist to go through on your person, immediately in the bag, and then you need your kids' clothes, the kids' bags with your extra set of clothes as well. The third thing is being your weather and your walking, okay? Heat multiplies and amplifies, right, exhaustion, especially for little kids. When you are walking somewhere and it says the walking is a 10-minute walk, you need to add on time for little legs. So go ahead and automatically assume whatever distance the Google Maps says or Waze says, whatever it is you're using, or Apple Maps, it's going to take 30 to 40% longer with kids. It says 10 minutes, count for 20. Okay? If it says 10 minutes, count for 16 or 17. If it says 30 minutes, count for 45, okay, or 50. Just know that walking takes longer with little kids in tow. And also, indoor breaks are non-negotiables. You need to include them, especially if you're at a hot destination. We need to get out of the heat. You need to get out of the sun. We need indoor air conditioning breaks, and this is a really great time to do this for lunch as well, so that kids can all cool down, kids can calm down, they can use the restroom, maybe it's an ice cream break, whatever that looks like. But indoor breaks along a long, busy vacation day is a non-negotiable. You must include it, okay? And once you fix these things, something surprising happens. Travel stops feeling like you're stuck in survival mode. Toddlers need to have close proximity to things, right? And somewhat of a predictability in their routine. I'm not gonna say schedule because schedule's too rigid. I'm gonna say their routine, their rhythm, okay? And kids need rhythm and movement. Kids need to get out. They need to go stretch their legs. They don't wanna just all be walking in a single file line. They need time to go to a park or a green area or whatever it looks like and just burn off some of this energy as well. And then for teens, I would say really just gather their input, okay? They can sometimes hang with adults a little better, right? But they are going to feel heard and valued and seen while they're already struggling in those teenage years if they have a little bit of input and a little bit of freedom as well. And the rule that we always use, that you should use too, is every kid chooses one thing on their trip, okay? One activity. If your kid loved dinosaur, go to Dinoland. If your kid loves swimming, let them go to the water park or the pool. If one kid is really into science, coordinate a science morning or a science afternoon into it. If one of your kid loves botany, go to like a tropical garden, go to a botanical garden, whatever is in the destinations, okay? These are like loose ideas here, but let your kid pick one activity per trip for the whole trip, not a day, but per trip, and just see them light up and see how that's the one day they're looking forward to the most, and let their love and passions grow, and you're really going to love that. And parents should also have a calm anchor too. Maybe that's a day at the spa. Maybe one parent goes into the lobby and drinks a tea or a glass of wine on their own, whatever that looks like, but let them have their little calm anchor too. Maybe mom just needs to sit into the hotel room by herself for 30 minutes after taking a shower and the hotel robes and their slippers and just listens to utter silence for a little bit, okay? Maybe whatever that looks like for your family, parents should have a calm anchor too to enjoy their vacation as well. Because family trips are not about seeing everything. They're about coming home closer and more connected than before you left for your trip. If travel has felt hard, it's not because you're failing. It's because no one taught us how to plan for real life, okay? Naps, food, energy, walking, weather, emotions, all at the same time. It's overwhelming. It's a lot. But when you plan for the entire family as like a full unit, travel becomes what it's actually meant to be: connection and lasting memories together. And if you want help doing this step by step, my stress free family travel course walks you through everything so that you can ditch and throw out the Pinterest boards, the late night Googling, all the research from all the travel blogs. You can just ditch all of that. And don't forget to grab my free packing list. It removes one more decision from your plate. And tell me in the comments, what part of trip planning stresses you out the most in this season of your life? I read them all and it truly helps. And until next one, see ya.